Dear students, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I want to also receive the greetings from the Vice Chancellor, who is not here, and also send my warm regards to him for allowing me to be in this esteemed institution. On the other side, I think you have just heard and you have seen that I have another roommate whom I met at the university, the Rig G. I think you gave him a good name. And I think he likes rigging. Like that Rig G is a good thing. He dances a lot when he hears that, and he feels young when you call him like that. So when I want some favor, I call him Rig G. And so receive his greetings. He knew I was coming and he was busy somewhere else. I wish he had accompanied me, and some of the things that we have said, he would have confirmed. I did not really like him much at that time when we met, but I love him very much these days. So another time I want to say good morning to everyone. I think now it's almost afternoon. And let me say this as I read what has been written, but I will be speaking as a mother. Sometimes when people have spoken and they have read many things, and I was just thinking when I was at the university, when I sat there, oh, they are going to speak and speak. And then finally, a pastor is put on the stage. My friend, you know a pastor can preach until tomorrow morning and we have a kesha here. But I have risen here as a mother. So don't worry, I'm not going to be here for very long. But I'm going to speak to you as a mother. Do you allow me to speak to you as a mother? Thank you very much. Sometimes a tragedy strikes and we do not know where or whom to turn to. But from my story, which you have just watched, I will share a few lessons which I hope will steer you from depression, suicide, and mental health disorders to fulfill your destiny into becoming people who will live to an old age. There is one thing a mother would like to do, and that is to see their children grow, to see their children get families, to see their young people become mothers, and to see your grandchildren, and above all, to see myself being named. It is the greatest joy of a mother or a father. First, I urge you all of us to support and be compassionate. Be not judgmental to one another. Because whatever a person goes through, sometimes it is caused by circumstances they did not bring themselves. Sometimes it's when you are trying to do good. You can see my suicidal thoughts had come because my mother was in distress. I had done something good, but now there it was. Something just happened at home, and I'm in the university, and I'm contemplating suicide. I am very sure had I talked to my mother, she would have thought otherwise, and perhaps I would not have sunk into that frustration, to depression, and to contemplating suicide. So sometimes, like you are saying here, you must speak to one another. You must find someone, like he has said, you must find someone to lean on. And we must also offer shoulders to one another. We are our brothers and our sisters' keeper. So do not keep those things to yourself. Perhaps if I had not gone through that and I went and found a president who was willing to talk to me, perhaps I would not be here. And you can tell God had a mission for me. God had a big plan for me. But at that time, it was useless. I was useless. I had done something that was causing my mom distress and my family, and I loved my mother. She had brought us up single-handedly because our dad died when we were very young. And to see her down when I had done something that I thought it was good brought me, and all my emotions just went haywire. And that's why you must talk to someone. When my mother heard about it, she would have committed suicide because she loved her children and would never have imagined that she would bury her children. So it is important that you talk to someone. I was lucky that the second president of the Republic of Kenya came to my aid. Maybe it was for such a time as this, so I can help thousands more. I know my story has resonated with many people. And as I always say, if I can save just one life, that is enough. And if I can save 10, 100, or even 1,000, that will be a bonus. Secondly, I encourage you to have strong friendship where you can have open discussions on issues affecting your life. When you are patient and kind to people, you can save a life from depression, suicide, or going insane. From my story, a friend invited me to an event where the suicide thoughts were cancelled. Do not be alone. You do not be a lone ranger. Many of you, when you are here and you are depressed, you want your space. You want to be alone. You don't want to speak to someone. But you see, that day, I had a friend who did not want to go by herself. And that action of coming to call me saved me. Thirdly, just like the Sikika, your youth festival, let us prioritize awareness and education and provide information on mental health, including how to recognize a person sinking into depression. I believe the speakers during the festival will deeply explore the different mental disorders and the signs to look out for your family members and friends. Students, ladies and gentlemen, I also urge the university leadership to adopt an active role in creating supportive environment for students' mental health. University life, with its unique blend of academic challenges, personal growth, and a newfound independence, can be both exciting and overwhelming. And it is during this phase that many students experience a wide range of emotional stressors and pressures. As students pursue academic excellence, it is important to recognize the importance of mental health. I propose that the university considers having a dean of students, of which I hear in this Mt.Kenya University. I think I don't need to speak about that because it is already happening, but we aspire to see that every university has dean and counselors who are able to stand in and be able to speak to our students, so that when they are low and they are frustrated, they can have a place to vent where they can speak to someone and get some help. Students, ladies and gentlemen, mental health destabilizes other forms of health: physical health, emotional health, psychological health. And some may resort to mental disability, including depression, suicide, murder, or going insane. Other people resort to drug and substance abuse. I was particularly saddened during my visit to a rehabilitation center that in Miritini in Mombasa, and I found that 60% of the people there had dropped from various Kenyan universities, and they had not completed their education because they had engaged in drugs. This is a proof that mental health and drug pandemic are robbing our countries of the best brains and destroying the future of generations. This is not only experienced in Kenya, but all over the world. This is a global crisis. In fact, what we are having now as a result of even COVID-19, you can tell it's a pandemic that everyone in this country and other countries must rise up as government and start to sensitize others and ourselves. We must put up facilities that will be able to address this very big crisis that we have, and it is facing the generation that is here. I am a champion of the boy child, and the male gender reports the highest number in terms of drug abuse and cases of suicide. I know many people are asking they keep asking me, why are you going for the boy child? And I'm saying, he is a solution to everything. If the boy child children are here, can you clap for me? I have said I will speak about this boy child until they hear me. As a mother, I must take your case. I must drive it until the whole world hears what I am saying, because it is important that we have equal chances. When I go to the maternity, I feel the same pain. When I'm giving birth to a girl, it's the same pain that I feel for a boy child. And sometimes because of our cultures and the way the world culture is, we think that the men are wired for leadership, for everything, that we do not care about the boy child. Whenever there is a problem in the home, it is the boy child who receives the frank. If a father dies, it is the boy child who leaves the school to take the role of a father. If there is a gender violence, it is the boy child who will leave home and go out there and try to come with a solution how in the future they will be able to take of their mother and their families. And therefore, most of those ones you see there abusing drugs, others are in alcohol, others are in substance abuse. We don't need to judge them. They are there for very varied reasons. And it is the society that needs to change the way they look at the boy child and the youth as well. I know that when I advocate for the boy child case, I'm advocating for my girl child case. Because one, the boy is the seed carrier. He carries the seed that propagates generations. And therefore, if the seed carrier is eliminated, it means even the girl child will not even have a chance of being a mother. And therefore, when I talk about the boy child, I'm also talking about my girl child. And they must grow together. They must be interfaced in the way they will be able to come up as young people, loving one another and having relationships that will bring a balanced family. There is no way you are going to have a good family if you don't have the boy and you don't have the girl. Both must have equal chances, and they must be treated the same, and they must be equally valued. This is my vision for the boy child. It is my vision for the girl child. Because if you want to end the gender-based violence, you have to bring them both to the level they respect one another. As mothers, I want to say sorry to the boy child, because we didn't show him how to respect the mother. I also take this opportunity to say sorry to the boy child, because even your father did not show you how to become a real man. We were so busy working. We were so busy telling you what not to do, but we were not busy telling you what to do. And therefore, as I say sorry, we are trying to correct that error. And now you stand for the boy child anytime, any day, anywhere. And that's why when I went to the CSW 67 in the New York, I introduced the boy-child conversation to that platform, so that even the world can start to see there is no way we are going to succeed and have successful families if the boy child is left behind. I was even telling them in a conversation that if you want to end the FGM, you do not need to put so much money into the NGOs. That money should be put in the boy children advocacy, and perhaps even in the boy child program. Because all you need is a male conversation concerning this matter. Let the men be told that this FGM is not good, and let them come up with a solution. And if the father spoke to their sons and they told them they should marry a woman without a cut, I tell you, it will end the following day. The youth of today, the millennial, Generation Z, and Generation Alpha, face a lot of challenges brought by, amongst other factors, the internet and advancement of technology. The rise of influencers pushes the youth towards the high-flying and real life, resorting to mental health pleasures. We must not bury our heads in the sand, but address the surge of mental health problems in the country, and especially among the youths. My advice to you is live your life. You are not in competition with anyone. If only you can get that one, live your life. If you can just tell the other person, live your life. You are not competing with anyone. In fact, you already won the race. Do you know when you came to the earth, you had to compete with millions of others? And when you struck the egg, you became the first winner in this world. You competed with millions of sperms that were heading there. And because you are here, you are one of a kind. You are the best of the best. You don't need to compete with the others. Yes, they are different, but you are unique. This is how I always told myself. Yes, everything that happened, you are a winner. I think I will take your hand after some time. I've seen you. I beseech you to be prudent on your interaction and consumption of media content. It is sad that some content creators release information that influence the young minds negatively. We are all aware of the positive as well as the ills of social media. The marketplace today is also dynamic and competitive, and mental illness is fundamental to making the right careers, work, and life decisions. In a healthy mind lies a foundation for success and personal fulfillment. I urge you to be drivers of the clean content. The WHO reports encourages a multi-sectoral approach when dealing with the mental health issues, similar to the Sikika Youth Festival today. Individually, we cannot tackle mental health issues. We must come together and be the brothers keepers. I therefore thank Conscious Works, a consort, Mt.Kenya University, TV 47 and Radio 47, and all the partners who came together to put this fest together so that we can know how to respond to mental health issues. I believe this festival will be a great opportunity to learn how to get value from your finances, talents, skills, and not to fall into the trap of mental disorders, but lead victorious lives. My story is an open testimony that mental health is real and can affect anyone. The only thing that I want to it's my parting shot, is that when you are in this university and when you are going to life, there is something the Bible tells us, that time and chance are given to all of us. And therefore, how you use your time and how you utilize the chances God has given you will be very important. When you are working with time, you must be able to know every time spent, it will not come back to you. It must be spent productively. You must think success. You must live success. You must make sure that you are not competing with others. You are competing with yourself. Because the moment you do that, you will not have those pressures that are causing you and costing you so much. I know I don't want to talk very many things about drinking and all that. It has already been spoken. But I would like to say that time and chance are so important. And opportunities that God has given you, it is for you to use them properly. Can you imagine myself, if you walk a few kilometers from here, that is where I was raised up, in the ghetto called Kiandutu. Here. Next to Kiandutu is a school called Mogumoine in section 9. That is where I went. And I lived in a ghetto. I could have chosen to do anything, to spend my time in the wrong ways. And the opportunity that my mother, who was a widow, accorded me by working so hard, I could have made the wrong decisions to just be like the others. Because I know there are most of the people who are in that ghetto, they never made it. But because I made the decisions you make are so important. Because every decision takes you either to failure or to success. We made decisions as family to go to school, even without shoes, even without good clothes. Sometimes we did wear our father's shirt to school. And even at the age 7, I was a maid somewhere. And let me tell you, all those things, they did not change my destiny. I focused. And because of that focus, and God being on my side, and prayers by my mother, and moving with faith in what I believed in, today, I am standing here confessing the same, that God can lift somebody from nothing to something. You can live a ghetto life and still God can raise you to be the president of this republic. You can live, you can sell chicken like His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto in the streets. But one day, if you focus and you do your work, put your faith in yourself, in God yourself, and work your faith. Because you must also work and work very hard. Because if you see me, I have worked in many sectors. Even when I was working at the bank, I left Kenyatta University, and when I was in the bank, I would wake up very early in the morning, and I would go to Marigiti. I would buy vegetables, and I would supply Muthaiga Golf Club. And from there, on Saturdays, myself and the Rigiji, we would leave where we used to stay, and we would go to Kariobangi Light Industries, and we used to make sweets, those ngomongos, and we would sell them. He also would go to the market and bring me potatoes. I would peel them and I would make crisps, and we would sell them. And that's how we used to supplement whatever we were getting. Those days, salaries were not much. And therefore, that's how we used to pay our rent, how we were bringing up our children. You must cultivate a culture of hard work. And the moment that happens, you will find God will lift you. I have told you. Now you can see I'm wearing very well. But before, there was a time I would wear a shirt from Monday to Sunday. And if you are wearing one dress or that shirt from Monday to Sunday, you can tell that there are other things that will happen into that the dress. There was the rice that you find in the clothes, some in the hair. I have known. Many of you, maybe you have never seen this, but there are two types of rice. The rice that you find here, it's black with a dot there. And then the one, the hair one is black, completely black. But the other one, when you find it in the clothes, it's a white one with a dot in the middle. So I have known this. And when you go home, in the bed were bed bugs, and you would not even sleep. But that did not stop God's plan from happening. And I believe God's plan will not change for you. So do not get yourself into depression because of this. But if you are already there, there is a solution. We are saying mental health or drug addiction, alcohol, is just a disease like any other. And as a mother, I'm telling you, I'm asking you, do not contemplate suicide. You have a great future. You have a great destiny. And we don't want to bury our children. We want to encourage you to soldier on. And you have heard, many people have come out of all those depression and mental health. Do you know the degree between being mad and actually being a genius is almost the same? Many of the people, you think very differently, and people imagine you are mad because they cannot think the way you think. And I tell people, even the way you are, many people will reject you because they don't understand you. I was misunderstood by many people. Even now, many people misunderstand me. I have come from very far. So when people see me praying, they ask me, why do you come from one prayer to another? I don't know any other way. It is God who has helped me. And he has taken me through my life. And therefore, he is my companion. And therefore, other people who may have been helped by men may not understand me as a pastor. And you look at my names there. First, you must know who you are. Know your identity. Value yourself. And love yourself. Don't wait for others to love you. The only thing I know, when God created you, he did not create the other person to give you happiness, to give you joy. He put it inside of you. And if you can dig deep inside of you and love yourself, let me tell you, there is nothing you cannot do. And that's how I work. I don't wait for other people affirming me. I look at my mirror in the morning and I tell myself, I think you are very beautiful, Dorcas. I look at myself and I tell myself, today, it's going to be a great day for you. I don't wait for my husband to tell me, because he also has his own challenges. So if I'm waiting for him and he's waiting for me, then we are going to have a crisis. So learn to love yourself. put a mirror somewhere. And every day you look at it. You remember those stories where who mirror on the wall? Who is the fairest? And you should respond to yourself. You say you are the fairest and you are the best. It doesn't matter how you look. If they don't like my eyes, what is their business? They are my eyes. I'm not giving them to them. The next thing, please do not let relationships become your biggest obstacle. I was in the university and I used to see very many people who are depressed because a girl has jilted them or the boy has done the same. Sometimes it is good to know that if somebody does not love you anymore, if somebody rejects you, just send them flowers and tell them, thank you for leaving me. You are not the best for me. I'm a mother of boys. I know what happens even now. We were where you are sometimes. I'm 58 now. But when I was 17, I was still where you are. But let me tell you, never kill yourself because of another person. They are not that important. In fact, the important one is on the way. Yeah. If they leave you, tell them, bye-bye. Have a gift of bye-bye. And you tell them, send them flowers. In fact, if you can't buy a flower, I'm very sure in this university there are beds of flowers. Just go get a bucket of flowers and send them to the room and tell you, thank you for leaving me. But don't get yourself into a place where you can be depressed and you leave your family suffering. I want to just thank you for being there and listening to me. And I'm very sure we will be interacting. To the boy children who are here, the boy children start from when they're in my womb to when they go to the grave. Mothers never see their children grow. So even these ones are my boy children. You are my boy children. And I'm telling you, nitakaa bumper kwa bumper na nyinyi. Until I see you get fairness and you get justice in this world. At least if I will only do that, I will be happy. God bless you.
Let us all stand up.
And I'm ready to take any questions. There was somebody who was putting the hand when I was still there.
Oh, we have a question and answer session coming in. Would you like to take it from there?
I don't know.
Yeah, just have a seat. We're going to have a microphone come to you. But thank you very much, everybody. Let us appreciate Her Excellency. Thank you very much. We honor you for coming up here and sharing your story and sharing your life and loving on us. Come on, guys.
Let's keep appreciating her until she's to her seat.
Thank you. There is something that we have learned today. What have we learned? What have you learned? Just shout what you have learned very fast. Time and chance happens to each one of us. Did you hear that part? And sometimes when you're wondering who you are, sometimes when you're worried, who am I? Am I loved? Am I everything? I believe in the good